Every monster in anime wants something. Power, revenge, destruction. But the evil eye? He just wants to play. And somehow, that makes him even more terrifying. Because the evil eye isn't evil in the way most curses are. He's not driven by ambition. He's not some mastermind. He's basically the emotional corpse of a child who never got the chance to live. And once you realize that, every scene with him becomes disturbing in a completely different way. So today, we're breaking down why the evil eye might secretly be the most tragic character in Dandadan. The scariest part about the evil eye isn't his power. It's what created him. The Kido family didn't just sacrifice children. They erased them. No future, no identity, no humanity. Imagine dying before you even understand what life is. That's the evil eye. And here's the important part people miss. His hatred isn't really a personality trait. It's trauma frozen in time. Starvation. Isolation. Fear. Abandonment. All compressed into a spirit that literally cannot move on. And because he died as a child, part of him never emotionally developed. That detail changes everything. At first, the evil eye's obsession with playing sounds creepy. But think about it from his perspective. He never had friends. He never had games. He never had a childhood. So when he finally interacts with people, he imitates what he thinks fun is supposed to look like. And that's why his version of play becomes horrifying. To him, fighting is playing. Hurting people is interaction. Destroying things is attention. Because he literally doesn't understand human connection. And honestly, that makes him way darker than a normal villain. A villain chooses evil. The evil eye never got the chance to choose anything. And this is where Jiji becomes so important. Because Jiji might be the first person to accidentally treat him like a real kid. Not a curse. Not a weapon. Now let's talk about the Grudge Ball. Because this ability is basically trauma turned into physics. The evil eye stores generations of rage, suffering, and resentment and compresses it into a single point of destruction. That's why it feels so heavy every time it appears. It's not just energy, it's accumulated pain. And then there's his gaze, which might honestly be one of the most psychologically disturbing abilities in the entire series. Because the evil eye doesn't just attack your body, he attacks your will to live. That suicidal influence completely changes the tone of his power set. This isn't just combat horror anymore. It becomes emotional contamination. The reason fans connect with the evil eye isn't because he's cool. Although, yeah, he is cool. It's because underneath all the chaos, he feels human. In a broken way. A painfully broken way. And that's what Dandadan does better than most modern shonen. It turns monsters into emotional mirrors. So now the big question is, can the evil eye actually be redeemed? Or is he fundamentally too damaged to ever coexist with other people? Because if his entire identity was built from trauma, what happens when he finally experiences connection? Does he heal? Or does he become even more dangerous? Let me know your theory in the comments. And if you want more deep dives on Dandadan characters, lore, and hidden themes, subscribe, because this series only gets darker from here.